Imagine leaving a whisper to the future, a tiny box of today sealed for tomorrow. What little pieces of now would you choose to startle someone years from today? Crafting such a message can be puzzling, but oh, the tales these capsules spill when unlocked. From secrets of yesteryears to jaw-dropping revelations. Come with me as we unearth the most riveting time capsules, including a few we were never supposed to see. Number 1. Oldest American time capsule. Ever wonder what happens to all those time capsules everyone's so excited about burying? Do they all get their grand unveiling? Here's a funny twist. Not always. Picture this. You're doing a bit of digging in your backyard and, surprise, you find a metal box. No, it's not pirate treasure, but might be even cooler. It's America's oldest time capsule. Now imagine it being placed there by Paul Revere. Yep, the same guy who warned the Americans, "The British are coming." He buried it back in 1795 at the Massachusetts State House. There's more. It got a little update in 1895, but then, poof, everyone forgot about it. Until 2014, that is, when builders who were just trying to sort out a pesky water leak stumbled upon it. Inside this 10-pound relic, some really vintage goodies. 23 coins, a medal flaunting George Washington's mug, and not one, but 5 newspapers. And talk about sneaky one of the coins, a pine tree shilling, was secretly minted in 1652 without even telling the British monarchy. Talk about some colonial mischief. Oh, and speaking of surprise discoveries, the Washington Monument had its own "oops, didn't see that there" moment. Hidden behind a centennial plaque was a 1915 time capsule featuring the face of the Star-Spangled Banner's author and even a keepsake of Washington's farewell address. So, what hidden surprises might you find in your backyard or, heck, behind your own walls? Makes you want to go on a treasure hunt, doesn't it? Number 2. Capsule of Christ. Have you ever thought of statues holding secrets, literally? Picture this. A serene Jesus statue in the Church of Santa Agueda, northern Spain. Sounds standard, right? But in 2017, while this Christ was getting a little touch-up, something rather cheeky was discovered. Now, I promise I'm not making this up. As restorers peeled back a cloth from the statue, let's just say, Jesus's rear view was more than just sculpted detail. Yep, there was a hidden note stashed away in there. And well, judging by the statue's face, it's hard to say if it was thinking, "busted," or "took you long enough." Now, before you jump to wild conclusions, it wasn't a divine to-do list or heavenly memo. This surprise 1777 note, penned by a priest named Joaquin Minguez, wasn't a prophecy but rather a day-in-the-life snapshot of Spain. He chatted about the local pastimes like a good card game, touched on Spain's vibe of the day, from its politics to the popular bullfighters who were basically the celebrities of their era. Oh, and typhoid fever. Because why not throw in some health tips? So, the $1 million, or should I say euro, question. Why did Joaquin decide to play hide-and-seek with history in, of all places, Jesus's behind? Some mysteries, my friends, might just stay tucked away. Number 3, Apple Time Capsule. Ever wonder what tech guru Steve Jobs would have packed away in a 1983 time capsule? Imagine the scene. Disco balls, leg warmers, and Michael Jackson's Thriller on repeat. Oh, and me, I had a glorious head of hair. Amidst the backdrop of the 1983 International Design Conference in Aspen, a young Steve Jobs and a bunch of fellow tech enthusiasts decided to put together a treasure trove of 1983 pop culture. This wasn't just any old box. We're talking a 13-foot-long canister. Inside, one could find relics like an 8-track of the Moody Blues. And, for those future archaeologists, a cold Ballantine ale to toast their discovery. And let's not forget the quintessential 80s brain teaser, the Rubik's Cube. Now you might think, Steve Jobs, Apple? There's got to be some top-secret tech gadget in there, right? Well, no. But there was a nod to Apple's revolutionary stride in tech that year, the Apple Lisa mouse. While it might look like something your cat would play with now, back then, this mouse belonged to a computer that cost about $10,000. That's around $27,000 in today's money. Woo! They aimed to unearth this nostalgic gold mine in 2000, but Mother Nature had other plans. Landscaping shenanigans meant the capsule got misplaced until 2013. A discovery made bittersweet after Jobs' passing in 2011. Though a vintage mouse might not seem like much, it's a humble reminder of the tech giant Apple would become. Not too bad for a time capsule, huh? Number 4. Paris Opera and MIT Capsule. Ever thought of taking a musical trip back to the 1900s? Let's wind the clock back a bit. Picture the Paris Opera, and no, not for its ghost that likes to creep around its basement, although that's a story for another time. The real hidden gem? An ancient time capsule. In 1907, a bunch of folks thought, hey, why not bury some memories? By 1912, they'd tucked away 45 wax-pressed records and a gramophone to groove to them. But wait, they had some serious foresight. Anticipating the what the heck is a gramophone moment from future generations, they generously included a user manual and some extra needles. Feel like some old-school vibes. Those records are now available in CD format for those who want to rock it vintage style. But hold on, the Paris opera geniuses weren't the only ones with a flair for the dramatic. Fast forward to 1957, MIT's president and his scientist gang decided to send a message almost a millennium into the future. Their capsule, set to be unveiled in 2957, had an early guest appearance in 2015. But MIT's current head honcho thought, no spoilers, and kept it sealed. Peek inside. There's fresh coins, a book called A Scientist Speaks, and even some penicillin. And for the grand finale, they pumped in argon gas to make sure their legacy stays fresh for the next 900 years. So, anyone got plans for 2957? Number 5. Plymouth Belvedere. Ever played the game of guessing jelly beans in a jar? The residents of Tulsa, Oklahoma took it up a notch in 1957. Imagine this. Instead of guessing sweets, they were estimating the population of Tulsa in 2007. And the prize? A shiny Plymouth Belvedere. But here's the twist. They wouldn't get the car for another 50 years. So, why keep it in a garage when you can bury it underground, right? Along with the car, a barrel of 50s goodies was stashed in an underground vault, with layers of concrete as its protective blanket. It's like Sleeping Beauty, but with a car instead of a princess. But, there was a plot twist. While this vault was probably tough enough to take on Godzilla, it couldn't handle a bit of water from below. When they unearthed it 50 years later, it looked more like a car that had been snorkeling without a snorkel. While the car faced a watery doom, the barrel's treasures remained untouched, showcasing a pristine 48-star American flag, among other gems. The Plymouth? Well, it now rests in a museum, offering a silent reminder. Always check for leaks. Number 6. Crypt of Civilization. Can you imagine a hidden chamber packed with the essence of a civilization? That's precisely the intrigue behind the Crypt of Civilization. Doesn't that name alone sound like something straight out of an Indiana Jones movie? Cast your minds back to 1936. Thornwell Jacobs, a visionary professor and writer, got hit with an idea. He reflected on the 6,177 years that had passed since the Egyptian calendar first marked time in 4,241 BC. Inspired, Jacobs envisioned a capsule sealed for an equivalent span, revealing its secrets in the year 8,113. Talk about planning ahead. But Jacobs hit a snag. How do you ensure our far future counterparts even comprehend the contents? Alongside 640,000 pages of microfilm, the crypt houses a wind-powered generator and its trusty repair kit. But here's the showstopper, a gadget engineered to teach English. So, future folks can lend an ear to voices ranging from the mighty Stalin to, well, Popeye the Sailor. Of course, no grand endeavor is without its quirks. Anyone up for a slightly eerie greeting by mannequins at the door? Or puzzled by a lone plastic beetle? Guess every era has its odd sense of humor. Wonder what they'll think of ours in 8,113. Number 7. Oldest message in a bottle ever found. Ever heard tales of pirates using messages in bottles? Well, while we often brush them off as pure fiction, these bottled tales can be more real than you'd think. I mean, who uses bottles when we've got WhatsApp, right? Sadly, most of these glassy couriers get lost in the abyss of the sea or face the wrath of Poseidon's waves. Yet they carry whispers of yesteryears, dreams of the past, and sometimes scientific experiments. But once in a blue moon, luck favors these bottles. Take this bottle, for instance. An Australian beachgoer stumbled upon it. And guess what? It was a whopping 132 years old. Not just a record-breaking relic, but a snippet of history from the German Naval Observatory. They weren't tossing bottles for fun. They were charting shipping routes, turning ocean currents into a postal service. This bottle, like a silent observer, has voyaged through time, witnessing the evolution of civilizations and the changing faces of the sea. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many more ancient messages might the ocean be guarding? How many secrets lie buried in its depths? And how many of them have witnessed the stories of a bygone era, waiting for their time to be read? Time capsules offer us a fascinating window into days gone by, preserving memories, dreams, and curiosities for generations yet to come. As we've delved into these treasure troves from the past, it reminds us of the rich tapestry of human history and our innate desire to connect with the future. Every unearthed item holds a story, a sentiment, and a piece of someone's life, waiting for us to discover and interpret. It's a testament to our shared human experience and the hope that our legacy will resonate with those who follow. What would you put in a time capsule for the next generation? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for journeying through time with us today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to uncover more exciting tales from our world. Until next time, keep cherishing the memories and creating stories for the future.